would you guys be pissed at me if I went on like Mounjaro or something and, got some help?
You need Ozempic or Mounjaro, Tirzepatide, whatever. And you refuse to take it because you're scared of what other people are going to think. Coach Greg, in today's video, an update on BrentlyG. You remember BrentlyG? Everyone loves this guy. Formerly 575 pounds. He went on a weight loss journey. He was doing healthy things, going for walks, going to the gym, and he got his weight down to about 340. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to control his appetite. He hasn't been able to stay on point, and his weight has slowly been creeping up week after week and month after month, and he's currently sitting at a little over 400 pounds. And so clearly he's morbidly obese. And I've been telling him for well over a year that he should be using something like a GLP, namely Ozempic and or Tirzepatide, also known as Mounjaro.
Buongiorno, principessa.
Whatever, I can't pronounce it.
Making this video to remind myself to work out tomorrow. Just do it. You felt a lot better and the muscles were stronger and the bone aches were gone and your depression was sort of going down.
And so remember, Brentley, he's fighting depression. He's also open about the fact he has schizophrenia. And so remember, with schizophrenia, it can affect your motivation. It can, in fact, lead to depression. It can increase your hunger. And so it makes it way more difficult. Also, oftentimes people with schizophrenia, they'll experience more social withdrawal. They have a harder time being around other people. And so you have to commend Brentley for being so open, honest, and transparent. I mean, how many people are as open and as friendly as Brentley? And so he's taken us on this journey, a difficult one. And of all people, if I thought somebody deserved or should be on a GLP-1, Brentley is that guy. The reason why he's so morbidly obese isn't because he's lazy. It isn't because he refused to eat a healthy diet. It's because he's ghrelin, his hunger signals, the medication, it's making him that much harder to put the fork down. When you're on antipsychotics, of which you would be given for schizophrenia, it's going to make you ravenously hungry. Not to mention the fact that these medications can make the foods that you eat more easily turn to stored fat. Think of it as the opposite of trend. When you're on trend nutrient partitioning, it's going to turn all the food, the extra calories you're eating into muscle. In comparison, antipsychotics can increase the likelihood of experiencing type 2 diabetes, can lead to more visceral fat. And so Brentley, he has an uphill battle. And if he takes these medications, of which this is what they're literally designed for, they're not designed for bodybuilders to get shredded. It's made for people with type 2 diabetes, people who are morbidly obese in order to lose some weight. And so he fits the criteria. And so anyone that says he's taking a shortcut, he's lazy. Is it a shortcut if your doctor prescribes you with a beta blocker or telmisartan or statins in case you have high cholesterol? Would that be cheating? Is it cheating if you're old and you have low levels of testosterone and you're prescribed HRT? Now, some of you are going to say yes. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. You're allowed to have that opinion, and you're also allowed to be wrong. You get it? And so in case you're wondering, schizophrenia, the disease is mostly environmental. However, it can also be genetic. And if you, in fact, smoke some weed, we're going to say the word. And so if when you're smoking marijuana, you, for example, you experience paranoia or delusions, there's a 40% chance you could develop schizophrenia later in life. And so please be careful. Although marijuana, I do believe it's safer than, for example, alcohol. If you're getting this, especially at a young age, please, please be careful. Say no to drugs.
If you just do it, if you just get a workout in the morning, tomorrow morning, and then the next day and the next day, I mean, come on, it can only be a good thing. So please just do it.
And so remember, Brentley is saying, please just do it. He's one of the rare ones who has schizophrenia who's actually trying to do their best to work out. He's reminding himself, hey, Brentley, you can do it. And so if you are experiencing these things, you're experiencing schizophrenia, please try your best. And if you don't, you probably have it easier than him. And so if Brentley can do it, so can you. And remember, if you are experiencing difficulties, please click on the link, go to AlgoRx. They sell various GLPs. They can prescribe to you enclomiphene, for example, testosterone, telmisartan, Cialis. The list goes on and on. And so don't suffer alone. You can, in fact, overcome obesity.
I haven't lost any weight in over a year. And I've been hearing good things about Ozempic and Mounjaro. Would you guys be pissed at me if I went on like Mounjaro or something and, got some help?
Imagine he posts a video and asks if we would be mad at him for him taking control of his life, for him trying to lose weight. Imagine putting other people's opinions, bro from Bangladesh, over your personal health. And so I wrote, you should take it. He's asking our opinions. He's scared that people are going to make fun of him or put him down. And if they do, he wouldn't take these medications. Imagine if you need HRT and people are making fun of you. You're a cheater. That actually happens. And so imagine how many people refuse to take TRT even though it's beneficial. Would you say the same thing to if somebody prescribed blood pressure medication or insulin or anything that you require from a doctor? This is a prescription drug that a doctor is prescribing you because they feel it has more benefit to you than not taking it. And so would you not think you would listen to a doctor? It doesn't matter what we think. Do what you think is best. And I'd preface that by saying that many of the people are just saying, hey, of course, do this, but make sure that you do it with the advice and consent from your doctor. There are, in fact, negative side effects from these drugs. Some of the main ones, for example, nausea or constipation. And so he may need stool softeners and so on, but I'm certain that a doctor working with him will tell him what he needs to do. I see the title, I just got Mounjaro. Now, what you need to know, this is also known as tirzepatide, and it's significantly more expensive than Ozempic. Now, Ozempic, when it first came out, was hugely expensive. Some people are spending $1,000 a month. Since this time, its patent has run out, and before you know it, there will be generic copies of this, exactly the same thing, for significantly cheaper prices. And so look for doctors to be prescribing you these medications, much cheaper than last time. But what most of you already know is that you can go to various peptide sites and so on where you can actually buy these things. The danger is, are you actually getting what you're paying for? Is it authentic pharmaceutical gain products? And there are no guarantees. And so if you just take it blindly with no blood work, no contact with your doctor, you might be the rare person who experiences serious difficulty or perhaps even death. I don't know. We know that with Ozempic, there's 1,800 people suing because they're going blind. You never know. And so please be careful. It's not a drug to just abuse, like Clavicular, who taking 20 milligrams of red at one point. Like, are you kidding me? What's wrong with 2? And if you are using this and you're doing it on your own, you're your own lab rat, the lowest dose that makes you happy. You shouldn't be experiencing extreme nausea, not able to eat, or losing 5 pounds each and every week. It is not for that. If you do this, you're going to be losing a lot of muscle. Metabolism's going to go down. Please be careful. But let's get back to Brentley on Mounjaro.
What's up, Fart Buckets? Your boy got the Mounjaro, so we're going to be trying that out. We're going to see what that's about. Talked to the doctor. He thought it was a very good idea. He gave it to me right away.
Notice, talked to the doctor, gave it to him right away. No hesitation. He needs it. I've been telling Brentley this since I met him, but he didn't want to experiment. He was nervous. He was shy. I said, trust me, Brentley, you can go to your doctor. I'm certain they're going to prescribe it. And finally, he has.
I'm excited about that, but it was very expensive. $400 for my first round. It was going to be $600 in 2 months when I upped the dose.
It's not as though Brentley's a multimillionaire, and so he's trying to get the medication for something that he can afford. The doctor's already stated it's going to be $600 the next go around when we up the dose. Why are we already talking about upping the dose? I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, the lowest dose that makes you happy, if he takes the lowest dose and it makes him happy and he's losing weight, why would he up it? If Brentley goes on a 3,000 calorie diet and loses weight and the coach says, yeah, but in 2 months we're going to drop the calories to 2,500, why would he do that if he's losing weight at 3,000? Why not eat the most amount of calories that still allows you to lose weight as fast as you want? And so would it not make sense to reevaluate in a couple months and say, hey, how's it going? How do you feel? Are you constipated? Are you experiencing nausea? Tell me exactly how you feel. And if he says, hey, I've been losing 2 pounds a week for the last 2 months, this is great. And remember, a lot of people, they double the dose. You don't need to double it. Just because you're taking 0.25 of Ozempic doesn't mean you need to go up to 0.5. If you're taking 1.25 milligrams of tirzepatide, you don't have to go to 2.5 or 2.5 to 5. You're allowed to go up in increments. Same as HRT. If you're given 100 milligrams of test a week and you get your blood work back and it's still too low, you don't need to go to 200. You can go up to 120. The lowest dose that makes you happy, and slowly increase the dose over time, not too quickly. Take your time and lose the weight slower than last time.
I've been horribly terrified and incredibly depressed, and most of the time I just lay around in bed all day eating and getting fatter.
Horribly terrified, incredibly depressed, yet he's still going on the weight loss journey. He's still doing his best. What I take from this is Brently is a source of motivation, inspiration, if you will. He hasn't given up. He's suffering from schizophrenia, yet he's still trying. And so if you're watching this video, don't give up. Continue to try. He's trying to go to either a psychologist, a psychiatrist, depending on what he's able to get. He's on a wait list despite free healthcare in Canada, right, guys? He's doing his best, but oftentimes you have to take things into your own hands.
I'm realizing that maybe this is a good way to get started and get back down to, the Mounjaro is a good way to get started and get back down to where I was.
Compare your life to his. Normally I say comparison is the thief. What I like to do is compare myself to people who are less fortunate than myself. And so when I think I'm having a bad day, do I not realize how lucky and fortunate that I really am? Look at Brently. He's suffering trying to lose weight. He's depressed. What is your excuse? I don't have time. The cheeseburger tastes too good. This is why I'm telling you, you owe it to yourself to go out and do the cardio, to lift the weights, to put the fork down. No one can do it for you. And if Brently can do it, so can you.
And then once I'm back down to where I was, maybe I'd like to go off it and see if getting on an antidepressant or an anti-anxiety medicine, if that'll help me,
And so let's compare what Brently is suggesting. He wants to lose the weight and then go off of the peptide, the drug that helped him to lose the weight. What do you think is going to happen if you take away what helped him to lose the weight? He's probably going to gain the weight back. And in comparison, to get off Mounjaro, or let's call it Ozempic, to get off whatever, and switch over to antidepressants. The antidepressants, if you look at studies, are not as effective as exercise. If you had to prescribe to the world antidepressants or exercise, which do you think would have better results? My opinion, and remember, I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to what I say, is I'd rather see him continue to take Ozempic and or Mounjaro.
Buongiorno, principessa.
And not bother with the antidepressants, because what benefit are they really? They're not beneficial to everyone and, in fact, can be very dangerous. I personally have friends who I know were on antidepressants for years, and eventually they tried to come off, and it definitely caused serious problems. They said, I'm addicted to this. I can't come off. And so do you really want to take the risk of putting something into your body that maybe you can do without, that will cause lifelong dependency on? We're talking about decades. Why do you think pharmaceutical companies are prescribing these things in the first place? Do you think that maybe they want to make billions of dollars? Do you think that that's possible? Consider this. With antidepressants, there's a black box warning that these substances can cause you to do the word that starts with an S and ends with "ide." And when you go to a doctor and you take these medications, they'll say, hey, any ideology? Why would they ask that? And so the pharmaceutical companies, what they do is they take away from the studies the fact that it can cause this, that there's an increase in the chances that you end things for yourself. And so if you're depressed, does that not mean that you're probably going to want to end things more often than if you're not depressed? I think that being depressed probably increases those chances. I think that that is very likely a correlation. And so why is it that a medication that's supposed to reduce depression can cause you to end your, you know what I mean?
Anxiety medicine, if that'll help me, stay stable, and maybe I won't need to shell out $600 every month for Mounjaro.
I mean, it's so sad that the problem is the $600. And just so you know, I did message him in private and mention him that you can, in fact, get it much cheaper in other means. And so hopefully he'll do that. He can continue to work with his doctors, but doesn't need to spend $400 to $600 a month. He can, in fact, get it for free in Canada. It's just he has to go through hoops and fill out certain forms and medication influx, blah, blah. I don't understand it. Free healthcare. Yay, Canada.
I need something to help me, really take this weight off. I need something to really make sure that I don't get back up to 575, because that was hell.
He's so vulnerable right now, and he's not lying. There's no way he's making this shit up. And so please, understand that this is the life of many people. There are millions of people who suffer from this, obesity and so on. It's not fun. And so when I see other people glorifying obesity, acting like it's not a big deal, love my body. Really? Do you think that Brently wants to weigh 400 plus pounds? He's willing to do almost anything to lose the weight, and he knows he'll feel that much better.
Well, a few people have said that it takes about 2 weeks to start, really affecting you. But, I'm schizophrenic and I have that thing where it's like sympathetic symptoms or something like that.
And so he's mentioned it's probably going to take 2 weeks to kick in. And now with schizophrenia, perhaps possibly, but for most people, couple days, you're probably going to start experiencing it. I know many people personally who have taken this, and within a couple of days, their appetite is significantly diminished. And so don't think it takes 2 weeks to start noticing it, but also don't up the dose until it's fully kicked in. With every dose, it's going to compound to itself. And so with a half-life of approximately a week, by the time you do the second dose, half of it is still in. You give it another full dose. And so every week, it's going to be a little bit more.
We're looking forward to a new future. We're looking brighter, and things should be good. And I'm going to keep you guys updated.
And so expect to see less of Brently than last time. And I don't mean by less videos. I mean less of him, because he's on a terzipatide, which will in fact help him to lose weight. And if you're interested in getting specific medications, don't forget to check out AlgoRx. Use code Greg for 10% off. And if you're trying to do it without prescriptions and so on, we of course have GLP Max. That can help you to lose your weight by decreasing your appetite by about 28%. Go from an 8 out of 10 hunger to a 6. And life is manageable. And while you're at it, of course, you already are taking Turk Builder Max and Turk Platinum. Almost all of you are, as well as GO2 Max. Continue to use it. Remember, if you haven't used it yet, there's a money-back guarantee and a $50 gift card. And so if you're one of the rare ones who aren't actually trying this as of yet, go and consider it right now. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. If you're a fan or if you're using the products and you want to be a paid or sponsored athlete and so on, click the link to apply. Even if you want to be an ambassador, we're ready for you. Coaching plans by me and my team. Click the link. And until next time, I am out.